here I am, another day, another video journal. Today is a very gloomy day here in Northwest Florida. It's raining. I'm looking out my window. It's just raining. It's cold. I think it's in the 40s today. We just had a bout of cold weather where it was in the 20s in the morning, and I am working off of just not a lot of sleep. Today is one of those days, and I wasn't going to video today, but this is part of my journey. This is videoing me even on the days that are hard. And this is actually a pretty mild day for me. Excuse my voice, a little bit of sinus stuff. It's just cold weather. Like I was saying, we had a little bout of cold weather where it was in the 20s first thing in the morning and didn't get much higher than 40s during the day. I think today's supposed to get around 50, but it's raining all day. Some people enjoy this because of the joint pain and other pain. It's just not very enjoyable. But my goal was to get up. I fixed my bed. I got myself some coffee. And I haven't been up very long, actually. This is how I fix my hair. It's just easier to throw on a handkerchief, bandana, whatever, and go about my day. A lot of nights I have pain that I'm waking up every hour, every couple of hours. I use heating pads throughout the night. My adult children, and one or two of them, they really help me a lot. One daughter, she works full time, but when she's off and she's home, she helps out as much as she can with things that I need. I think I shared before, I have some limited mobility. And if you saw my first video, you've already seen my hands. I mean, it's obvious I've got a type of arthritis. I have rheumatoid arthritis. So some days are more challenging than others, but today it's just a very slow day. I've actually spent the past couple of days doing some cleaning that I could do. I find that I can, if somebody unloads the dishwasher, I can load the dishwasher, wipe down countertops. I prepare my own meals. I prep ahead of time several meals because I pretty much eat the same thing every day. And what I'm doing now is something I do every single day that I get up. And it doesn't matter what time I get up. Sometimes I get up in the morning time. Sometimes I'm up in the early afternoon. Again, it just depends on when I actually get sleep. Because I can lay down at 10 o'clock at night. I can lay down at midnight. I can lay down at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't really matter. Because of the way that my body is sometimes, sleeping can be uncomfortable. Sometimes I need things through the night, and sometimes I can't really get up, and I can't get up, move quickly, so I am very blessed to have people in the house who are willing to help me, and when I get their permission, I'll give a shout out to my daughters. I'll name their name, but if they don't want me to, I won't. I mean, they're grown-ups. They don't have to be known. But cheers while I drink my little fizzy water. I don't know about putting out what this stuff is, but it's that little packets of stuff you get to help with your immune system. So excuse me a moment. And get that started, because if there's one thing my immune system needs, it's a little bit of a... So this is how it generally is when I wake up. I get up, I get my coffee, I fix my bed. Not all days. Some days my bed doesn't get fixed, and that's okay. Some days I don't drink coffee. It just depends how I feel. Some days I get up, I head to the bathroom, and I go back to bed. Some days I get up, I sit at my desk, and I work on being as productive as I can for myself. I haven't worked. I don't have a regular job. I haven't worked in, it's been well over, it's got to be 4, 5, 6, 7 years. The last place I worked, we lived in North Idaho, and I was working, it was probably one of the most wonderful jobs I've ever had. I was working at a thrift store. It was part of a church ministry, and I had to apply for the job. I had to go and talk to my interview was like with 3 or 4 people, and because it was part of a ministry, not just a regular job, it was, I guess, the people I worked with, there was a lot of volunteers that were there, so there was very few of us that were actually paid. I was a cashier, and so I was a paid position. But most of that place was run by volunteers, and it was just an absolutely amazing place. And I'm a thrift store kind of gal, and I absolutely adored it. I probably spent half my paycheck there. It was just a wonderful job, but I haven't worked since then. As a matter of fact, I remember I left that job because I started having issues with walking and standing. It was just getting to be too much on my hands. Then we moved back to Northwest Florida, where I'm actually, I say from. This is where I spent my teenage years. I've actually grew up all over the South. I started out in Georgia, moved when I was probably 1, and then went on to live in other places in the South. And then, but North Idaho, you know what? I really miss being up there. It was one of my favorite places to live. Except for living 1 year in Michigan, I had never lived anywhere where it snowed and got really cold. But I moved back here because I have family here. My mom's here, and I was just ready to be back around my family. Anyway, I get up. Sometimes I fix my bed, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go back to bed, sometimes I don't. But since I haven't had a job in a while, I've been trying to find things to do. One of the things is this YouTube channel. I'm not trying to be boring. I'm going to grow my channel as I can. And yes, that's my phone that you hear. Somebody is trying desperately to get a hold of me. So that was my daughter trying to get a hold of me. She'd been out for the day, and she was one of my daughters. I have 2 daughters that live at home. She was just trying to see if I wanted anything. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that my days aren't like full like a lot of other people's days because I have to listen to my body. And so what time I get up depends on how I've slept the night before. What I do during the day depends on the pain level of that day. And what I do is I generally do the same thing when I get up every single time. I found that having a routine when I wake up helps me kind of move into my day a little bit better. Again, working on YouTube is a new thing for me, but I don't want to push myself too much. Like today, not feeling 100%. So I don't think I ever really feel 100%. Today's just, my pain level's pretty manageable. But a day for me looks like I get up, I fix bed, change clothes, get coffee, generally take my little fizzy water, vitamin stuff, have a probiotic of some sort, and then go from there. I don't have a set anything. I could do a chore around the house, could work in my gratitude journal, which that's very, I know that sounds very basic, but that's a very new thing for me. I've never kept a gratitude journal before. Now I've kept journals, but a gratitude journal, especially in the midst of the things that I go through and the things I've been going through physically and all that, it feels very fake. I mean, it really does. I mean, just honestly. But learning to practice real gratitude, not just be thankful for my coffee, but thankful that I have another day to spend with my family, or I have another day to work on YouTube, or I just have another day. Even if that day has pain in it, you know. I mentioned in my first video that my faith is what keeps me going. My belief in God and the Bible, that's what keeps me going. I know there's a lot of people that that's not for them. You know what? I'm not here to push my beliefs on you. That is not the point of this channel. The point of this channel is for me to chronicle my journey and to keep tabs on myself. This is me being accountable for me, for my growth in a lot of areas. And eventually, as I go along, those are things I will share, I will talk about. But today, it was just how I get up and start my day. Most people would consider my life very boring. It's extremely slow-paced. I had to learn how to be okay with such a slow-paced life. I have grieved and grieved and grieved the person I used to be. I was highly independent. I was very involved with my kids' schooling. I had jobs off and on as I raised them. I drove everywhere, did everything, was highly involved in church, all kinds of things. And as I had to slow down, it was it was difficult, and it can still be difficult, especially if I just want to clean the toilet and I just can't that day, or I see dishes piling up and I have to put it on to another person again. I don't often make dinner anymore, so I feel like even though everybody in this house are grown-ups, I still feel like sometimes I should be the one that's up feeding these people, but I really don't have to be. They're well able to cook for themselves, and if they want to, they can. If they don't want to, again, that's their prerogative. But I have had to learn how to not let it make me feel bad that I'm not in there doing it. I was that mom that cooked every single day. And so there has to be a grieving. There has to be, because if we don't make peace with our past, a lot of times we're not going to be able to move forward. At least for me, that's how it was. I can't keep moving forward if I don't grieve with the me I used to be and make peace with the person I am now. So, as poetic as that sounds, it's a real daily challenge. Especially if I make a plan to do something. Just, I want to cook dinner, but then the next day, I can't. I just physically cannot do it. And again, I feel bad because I can't. But I have to learn to make peace with that. I knew this rain was coming because it's going to be a rainy day and it's been cold. And I spent a couple of days doing some stuff around the house I wanted to get done. Laundry, my bed linens, I got the toilet clean, helping get the kitchen caught up and cleaned up, various things like that. And so what now I do is I spend a day or so resting, just not pushing myself. I'm going to watch old movies. Absolutely love movies from the 30s, the 40s, some of them in the 50s. And I watch a lot of vloggers. So YouTube's my go-to. I have DVDs I enjoy watching. I'm currently working through the Mummy series with Brendan Fraser. They're not all my favorites, but the first three are pretty much, especially the third one, that's my favorite. I absolutely adore Agatha Christie, so anything with Hercule Poirot, with Miss Marple, any of those things like that. So I do have a favorite Poirot show. It's the one that David Suchet was in, that he did, I think, in the 80s and 90s. I have watched every single one of those, at least half a dozen or more than that. It's one of my comfort shows. All the Miss Marples, that's been done. I think there's the ones I'm thinking of, again, 80s, 90s. I think there were 3 different ladies that played that role. I am a big book nerd, though I don't read like every book that's out there. I really enjoy classics. I enjoy Sherlock Holmes. Just various different books. I'm looking over at my bookshelf, and I've got a wide range. I've got everything from Shakespeare to Edgar Allan Poe to they're Christian-based books, but one of them is written by an attorney. So that's Robert Whitlow. And then I have some other books I like. They're Jan Caron, I think that's how you say her name. Mitford series. I even have some kids books. I'm working towards getting a collection of Nancy Drew books. Anyway, I'm going to end this video. I have been rambling forever, but I just wanted to share, you know, even though this was a day where I didn't really want to get up. I'm still not feeling very much energy. I'm probably just going to spend the rest of the day critiquing my video and editing a little bit and just relaxing. And I hope you guys also take the time to listen to your bodies, listen to your emotions, listen to yourself. Learn to slow down when you need to slow down and not feel bad about it. And if you have any questions, ask. And remember, please be kind in the comments. Like I said before, entering my channel is like entering my home. I expect you to behave, please. And I just want you all to have a great day. And I'll talk to you guys later.